Now, when this type of automatic conversions are required and all that we must know. Actually, in 4 cases, this automatic type conversions are required. Actually, these automatic type conversion rules are incorporated in the compiler itself. That's why whenever that requirement is there and all that, first, as I told you, this type of conversion is done, thereafter operation is performed. That point you have to understand. These 4 cases first I explained. A single expression contains different types of operands. For example, this one you take, this is the expression. This expression contains different types of operands. A and B are int type and C is float type. In this context, one thing I have to tell you, I generally use the word operand. Actually, you have to understand operand may be a variable or a constant or even it is an expression. That point, in a broader way, whenever I use the term operand, you have to understand in a broader sense, either it may be either a variable or constant or an expression. In this case, you see that the mixed arithmetic is being performed, then this is required. The first thing is, then automatic conversion rules are required. Then first remember that whatever cases are there, all just after listening or after reading one time, you revise in brain. Once again you should not come back. Once for all you master that. First one is, a single expression contains different types of operands. That is, this is the example. Second one is assignment operator. Assignment operation means, actually you see that here we are writing int a 5, b 3, float c. C is equal to a minus b I am writing. Here what happens, you know, and all that. Actually, first b is subtracted from a, the result is 2, and the result is int, that you know, int versus int. Then c, I am assigning that one into floating point type. Then what is the automatic rule? Different type. Actually compiler cannot act upon. So what is happening? Whatever result is generated, now what result is generated? Obviously you know that. In this case, that is 2. Then first the result is promoted as the type belong to the operand on the left hand side. Just here 2 is developed. Then that is first promoted as the type of the operand which is placed on the left hand side. Okay, now you see it is promoted as float, then it becomes 2.0. Here always remember that promotion means, what is the size of int? Size of int is 2, float 4. So whatever data is available in 2 bytes is placed in 4 bytes. That is number 1. Next one, the formation of int, you know, that is no decimal point and all that. If it becomes floating point, then point will be there, decimal point will be there. So what happens? The 2 is promoted as float, means it is stored in 4 bytes, because float's type is float's size is 4 bytes, and its formation is also, 2's formation is also changed into floating point like this and all that. That always remember. One thing, in computer studies, you should not use any technical term blindly. Whenever you encounter a new term, first you have to understand its meaning thoroughly. If it is required, through examples you have to understand. If you loosely use the terms and all that, everywhere, wherever you are using that, it leaves a doubt. ultimately you never get perfect command over the subject. Whatever new term is being introduced, you must know the meaning. You take a pause and you must know the meaning of it perfectly and then proceed. Understand? So, data promotion means, type promotion means that. So, first whatever result is generated, the results type is promoted uh, to the type of the left hand side operand, and then it is assigned. That you have to understand. That is assignment operation. And in this context, some important points I have to tell you. What is that? Float is assigned to int. Suppose floating point value you are assigning to int type, then what happens? Whatever fractional part is there, that is truncated automatically. That you have to recognize. Number 2, double to float. Double and float both are floating point types only, but the size of double is 8, the size of float is 4. So, then in such case, if you are assigning a double type of operand to float type of operand, what will happen? The rounding of the digits, it rounds off the digits. Whatever digits can be accommodated in float, that many are stored in the float type operand. Third one, long int to int. Long int and int belong to integer type only, but the size of the long is 4 bytes, the size of the int is 2 bytes. Then what happens? Whatever are the extra bits, long takes 32 bits, int takes 16 bits. Whatever extra bits are there, those bits are dropped. Because of that, you may get unexpected result. So, automatic assignment will happen because of the automatic assignment rules and all that. But you must notice this type of damage. If you do not know these things and all that, and then what happens? You get unexpected result. For example, I will show you a simple case. Int a float b 2.5. So, a is equal to b you are making. That means what you are doing? You are assigning b floating point value to a. Then automatically no error will come. automatic assignment will be done. Then, but now a's value is 2 only, not 2.5. Because of the two reasons. Because a is int, it takes only 2 bytes, 16 bits. So, its formation is whole number. It does not hold any point and a fractional part. That's why it takes 2 only. 2 is stored in A and 0.5 is dropped. That is called truncation. You must know that. If you do not know that, you get unexpected result. Thereafter you will repent. That's why automatic assignment will happen, but these are the consequences of automatic assignment, you must remember. And the third one is, actually if you know functions, you can understand these 2 points. Otherwise, just as a thumb rule, you remember, and in 9th chapter we discuss functions, then you can understand that. Actually in functions what happens? Through function calls we pass arguments. Through function calls we pass arguments. Suppose we are passing int versus int, two integer arguments we are passing through a function call, and there is a function definition. The function definition receives it. If those values are, the types are different, suppose there long and long, you are passing int and int, but the receiving variables are long and long, then automatic conversion is required. So, that is one example for in functions passing one type of arguments to different types of arguments, automatic conversion is required. And the fourth one, functions only, a function definition. make evaluations and all that. After evaluation, sometimes it returns value to the caller. Returns value to the caller. The returning value may be one type. The receiving operand, so type may be different. In such case also, automatic type conversions are required. So, in 4 cases, automatic type conversions are required. Just you remember that. If you do not know functions, don't worry about that. In 9th chapter, we discuss functions, then you understand the 2 points. In the meantime, you can understand the 2 points very well.